I actually think it's quite difficult and maybe a little outdated to talk about media as press or TV or online. I think those lines blurred a long time ago. You can see it with content production, you can see it with the way they're selling advertising and the way they're aggregating audiences. So for me, I worry less about who's winning and who's losing. For me, I worry a lot about making sure we've got the business acumen, the insights, and the intestinal fortitude to execute on what we see where our audience is and to come up with the best solutions across any media. I think measurement is actually an industry-wide problem. I don't separate digital away from traditional media or other measurement systems, and the reason is, digital has started and kind of has the monocle as being the most measured, but we've also seen traditional media come in and really do some good work to try and bring measurability into the way that their traditional measurement systems have worked as well. I think most of us would agree that measurement is the single biggest issue that we need to talk about as an industry. And I also hark to some of the examples where we've seen big clients want to have the discussion with their agency partners around how should remuneration work. So again, it really puts the spotlight on making sure that measurement can have the ability to move from advertising executions and possibly all the way down through to sales. So I think it really is an industry-wide problem, and it's one that we all should address, because with the merging of our different media and with the advent of new measurement systems and some of the social networking tools and buzzmetric systems out there, we have our own systems like dwell time. So there really is a myriad of things marketers can now draw on. And so as an industry, I think we should tackle that together, because we've proven to ourselves that we know there is a media mix. It's not one media versus the rest. And so again, it just amplifies that need to have cross-pollination between those different measurement sources. One of the things that we've done internally to answer our CMO's question of, gee, how do I deal with this myriad of measurement, is to build a measurement dashboard that actually incorporates a lot of different data sources and allows them to corral those into one workable piece. It's got visualization at its core, so it's easy to look at. But I think importantly, the things they've learned as well is to understand what are the different thresholds of measurements. So for example, is it a short-term measure we're looking at, or a longer-term measure? Is it a sales measure, or is it a measure that's intended to move more brand awareness or purchase intent, all those things? So I think it's really about understanding what your product set is and setting yourself some benchmarks and measuring against those. I think the peril that we can sometimes fall into as an industry is having a measurement system and trying to apply that to every single thing we do. If I think about the opportunities in Asia Pacific from a Microsoft perspective, we're very excited. I've sat for the last 2 years in a global job and sat and listened to some of the world's biggest holding companies and their customers, and I can tell you this region is the top priority as they think about their growth. So I think that in itself is a tremendous possibility. If I look at the advertising execution, United States, Europe versus what we see here in Asia, I think there is fundamentally a very entrepreneurial and creative spirit that exists here in Asia. And I think if I think about our business and the health of our brand business out here, that's a tremendous platform to build from. And it's very, very important, because we are in the advertising industry, and we should never forget the love affair that consumers do have with their brands. So that's very, very important. I think the second opportunity with that is we've now got a world where we do have machines talking to machines. There's a lot of algorithms out there that are delivering great insights and data, and therefore the trends and patterns that we can then apply to our brand executions to get them popping really well. And I think the third area is we've got a tremendous opportunity here. We've got the world's largest percentage population and very promising growth as an area. And we've also got the ability to take the lessons learned from big markets like the United States and Europe and learn from those and amplify the things that were good and maybe stay away from the things that weren't so effective. So again, I think that's a great opportunity. It's a very important part of our strategy that we're building and continuing to build just great places for brands to really ignite themselves and bring their brands to life, whether that be through MSN, our mobile platforms, and certainly things like Xbox Live. And so you'll continue to see us invest in those particular platforms. You'll also see us invest in bringing out creative talent. We are investing in local creative teams to bring out to the region, and also building a very strong community that connects those creative people into their global counterparts that are operating in different markets. We have a very important role to play in transporting great creative work and ideas into the region, and also exporting it back out into the region as well. Also of utmost importance is the growth of events like Spikes. Just a tremendous event, needs to be nourished and grown, because it's very, very important for bringing that community together and really showcasing the great work that's happening.